Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to share something personal today. I'm 47 and I'm going through some kind of a midlife crisis. You can call it midlife crisis or a redefining of life, reviewing my past and how I look into the future. Because I'm realizing that the time that I have in front of me is shorter than the time I have behind me. So, over the past month, I went to several therapy sessions, and after each session, I took some notes. Some days, my therapist gave me some tasks to do, like a homework kind of thing. And in the most of the sessions, she gave me some questions. After each session, I took the notes, as I said, and I wrote down those questions. I wrote 7 of these questions down because I think they are crucial to me. And they kind of changed also the way I am looking into daily life right now. How I'm aging, what has been, happening throughout my life until today, and happiness, sadness, depression, all these kind of stuff. Now, let me tell you one thing before we start. Of course, I'm not a therapist. I am a trained coach, a communication, and a hypnotherapist, but this has nothing to do with this video. I'm just a guy like yourself going through life and being in these middle age 45 to 55, 65, they say, things are happening, hormones change, etc. So I'm not giving you any therapeutical advice here. I'm sharing these 7 questions with you. Maybe it will help you, or maybe you know someone who is going through something similar and you could share this video with, or share those questions with, these lessons with, and I hope and I pray that it's useful. So, being in this world right now, it's not easy anyway. It doesn't kind of fit to our human behavior. It is very far away from nature, very far away from how we as organisms, as beings, should live on this planet. So I hope these 7 lessons, questions will help. Let's get into it. So the first question is, what does make your life meaningful today? Not in the future, not what's behind you, just right now. In this stage of life, with all its complications, etc. What is it that makes it meaningful for you today? Please write this down. The best way is to take a pen and a pencil, and as you know, there's a ritual to it. There are signals from your brain going to your head and then back into your brain. You know the deal. Of course, you can also use your phone if you're watching this video on a device, on a train, or whatever. Please try to be very honest with yourself. What makes my life feel meaningful today? Don't look for a big answer. Don't look for a grandiose kind of life and planet changing answer. Think more about the question than the answer actually to it. This is the first task. Now let's get to the second. The second lesson is, are you living your life or are you just functioning through it? You know, for years, you've been functioning, you've been doing the right thing, working, getting married, children, keeping it all together, being responsible, paying your taxes. You know the drill. I've been doing almost the same things. But did I really do what I wanted to do? Did you really do what you wanted to do? Did you feel anything when you go through this function that you are fulfilling? A lot of us haven't felt anything for years. This is something we have to be very honest to ourselves, and it's not an easy one. Did you feel anything these last years? Did you have joy? Were you happy? I'm not talking about this happiness everybody talks about in social media. I'm not talking about the happiness of, buying something or even seeing your children, being successful in something. Of course, that makes you happy. But did you just make use of your existence? And have you been joyful about it? Please also try to write this down for yourself. So the next one is, what are you running away from? That was very interesting. This one hurt a little. My therapist looked at me and she was like, if you stopped being busy just right now, what feelings do you think that would catch up with you? I froze a little bit. One side mark. Maybe you thought this video is like a motivation kind of video or any kind of advice. It actually doesn't sound like it, but it really is. It is a motivation to take time to watch through this whole video, which you are investing for yourself, and then go through these questions from a guy who doesn't know you, who is doing this out of compassion. And I'm not asking anything in return for it. So I'm doing this for you because I already paid for the sessions. I already went to the sessions. I already wrote down everything, and I'm feeling better about myself. So why don't you just stay through this video and watch it to the end and invest some time for yourself, not for your family, not for your boss, not to leverage it and make money out of it and buy options, just for your existence as a human being. So, back to the subject. Deep down, when she asked me this question, I kind of knew if I would not be chasing the good old dollar or euro or Swiss francs in my case, the feelings or the emotions that would catch up with me and make me busy would be sadness, loneliness, maybe regret and emptiness, which is one of the things that I'm dealing with a lot. This feelings of emptiness. Maybe you have watched some of my other videos and I've been talking about this. Keep falling into this empty fields. So what I'm trying to say is, if we would stop, if you would stop right now, and all these emotions would come, all these old, digged and buried inside emotional garbage comes out, how would you deal with it if you would stop being busy? You can be surrounded by children, family, husbands and wives and work and nice cars and big houses and everything, and be alone and lonely. And you know what I mean. So this question also helped me a lot. So let's get to the next one. Lesson number 4. You can't change your life if you don't change your speed. Let me explain it to you. You've been driving your whole life on the fast lane. You can't suddenly hit the brakes and start a very slow life. Usually, when people do that, it's always combined with something bad happening. I'm not saying it's always like this, but usually it's like that. They had a heart attack, somebody died, some kind of very sad or sudden change of life made them hit the brakes. And of course, they also have it very hard to redefine this slow pattern of life that is new to them. So you don't jump from 200 kilometers per hour to 20 kilometers per hour. Okay? You have to change your lane first. That means you can't do sudden decisions. You have to plan it well, but precise on the goal of changing the lane. And once you change the lane, you start slowing down. Just like driving a car on the highway or the Autobahn or whatever. It is crucial to this lesson or to this exercise to make a plan. Again, please write all these things down. They don't have to be complicated things. If you would allow me to give you an example right now. You have a very big house, let's say, and you have 3 cars, but you don't really need them. So, yeah, but in the new house, if I buy a smaller house, all my stuff, they will not fit in. So what? Throw them away. Or give them away for free. There is tons of YouTube videos with regards to that. One example or one exercise that I like to do, if I haven't seen anything for 6 months, it's gone. I'm giving it away. Especially with clothes, shoes, and stuff like that. You have 3 cars, you don't need 3 cars. Sell 2 of them. You know, that makes life more, and I know it's stupid, we're talking about objects right now, okay? Cars, houses, shoes and stuff, but it's important because it is all these objects and information that is in our head that we need to clean out. So make a list of what you could get rid of, and start moving from the fast lane to the slower lane. Okay? Just stay with me a little longer. I know this is a very hard subject and it's not easy to digest. It's not a motivational talk with grand music in the background. It's not a double espresso shot that shoots you up and then you come down hard afterwards. This is something that we need to take time for. So please Stay with me a little longer. We are almost done. Lesson number 5. That's also very, very important. If your family matters, your time should show it. Time and family is one of the most used lies by managers, directors, and business people. What do I mean by that? You know, when you talk to this big managers and they're holding speeches at the end of their career or something like that, I've been to several events like that. I'm sure you have been there too. Is I'm very thankful towards my colleagues, but mostly I'm thankful for my family and my wife who has been supporting me through all these years, and I really regret that I didn't have much time for them or I couldn't take more time. You know, this all sounds very, very noble and very, very nice, but to be honest, when somebody says, I regret not having more time with my family, I thank my wife for holding everything together and having my back. Why didn't you take more time? Why? Why didn't you take more time to be with your family? Now you're old or now you're older, your children do not want to have a real connection with you, and then you are sad or actually you're angry why this is happening. You know, I spent all this time to pay for the best education. Yes, but maybe they just wanted to go and get some ice cream with you. So if you're in this position, that is something very easy to be changed. And I think you know what you have to do. So when we go through all these questions, lessons, and this being the number 5, you can see that there's a structure to it, right? And then you will understand. Maybe if you sell the big house and the 3 cars, you don't have to struggle that much and there is more time for the family. Let's get to the other one. Number 6. Can you actually do anything with yourself when there is nothing to do? Meaning you already cleaned up or you already went to work, you did whatever you had to do, all tasks of the functional day are over. And now you're sitting there and there is silence. Now this goes, of course, for women who are at home taking care of their children, and also for the business guy who's working all day, or the businesswoman who's working all day. Now, what to do? What's next? Oh, I have spare time. Netflix or going to the gym, which is a big thing. People run to the gym and then start working out. You know, they just did 8, 10, 12 hours of working and there's like 2 hours left. I have to go to the gym. Nobody thinks about their health. You know that one of the main reasons of heart attacks, that is a study that, I can only refer to Germany, that was done in Germany in the University of Sports in Cologne, which is very, very famous. Most of guys who have a heart attack between 40 and 50 years old are mostly very, very fit people who have done marathons, who are in the gym all day. You know what? Because your heart cannot take it. It's too much. You're just doing too much. So the main question here is, can you deal with yourself? Can you just sit on a balcony? No need to meditate. Can you just sit on a balcony, not look on your phone, go for a walk without your phone, without putting very nice clothing You know what I mean. Expensive jogging equipment. Just go for a walk in the woods without a phone. Can you do that? Can you remain by yourself? Or will the previous mentioned ego problems, emotions catch up with you? Please train that. When you go to the gym and you hit the dumbbells, when you go for a run, there is training involved, right? Please train to be with yourself, by yourself, without any information from the outside. Let's get to number 7, which is the last one. So, what does life mean now? The meaning of life is, of course, different to different personalities, different point of views. When you ask somebody who's riding a rickshaw in India, his perspective of life and the meaning of life to him is very much different than what we experience as life. But don't make a mistake. The existence of you, of me, is as important as the existence of the trees, the animals, and everything else around us. What do I mean by that? Trees and animals, when you're depressed or when you have a midlife crisis, just like myself, don't seem very important, but they are. Without the trees, there is no oxygen, right? Without the birds, there will be too many mosquitoes. And without us, there will be less happiness for our families. Believe me or not. I have experienced depression and other life experiences. So I know what it means to be angry, sad, left alone, and being misplaced, having the feeling of not belonging. I really do. But I am trying to change it. I'm trying to look forward and try to become a better person, a better perspective towards myself. Marcus Aurelius said, you should work on becoming better at what you are doing. For me, this is, I would like to become a better human being. So, next time when you are deciding to do something, think about it. Maybe you can just say no. Maybe you say, I don't need more money. I don't need more stress. Actually, I want to have less. I want to be able to sit down with my wife, with my husband, with my children, and not saying anything, just look into the sun and enjoy the sunbeams that are hitting my face, as not as John or Melanie or Victor or Victoria, not as a manager, forklifter, operational guy, I don't know. Just as a being on this planet. I hope that this little bit of insight that I could give you from all my therapy sessions and these thoughts and conversations, well, not really conversations, I couldn't, name each conversation that I had with my therapist in this little time that we have here together. But maybe this questions, the 7 lessons, the 7 sections that I took down from this sessions, and that helped me a lot to reflect on what's going on inside of me and what I would like to change, could also help you. So, my name is Human, and I would love you to subscribe to my channel, because this is something that I wanted to do for the future of my life, sharing these moments with you. So if you like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. All the best.